Welcome back to my channel, Star Booze.
For most admirers, Mallory Gulley was that confident blonde in Street Outlaws, Memphis, counting dollars and lowering arms, holding her own in a world full with cars go quickly, as do conversations. But behind his placid smile, there was a racer through and through, pursuing adrenaline alongside some of the South's largest names. Her car was the Ugly Duckling, and her brazen energy made her stand out in a male-dominated environment. And then, she vanished without a trace. There's no warning, goodbye, just stillness. So what exactly happened? From lawsuits to family drama. The reality behind cryptic social media posts behind Mallory's unexpected disappearance flows far deeper and darker than anyone imagined. And the truth may break more. Not just hearts. Mallory Gulley is the way more than the money girl title folks know her for. Sure, she gave out prizes. Money is given to racers on television, however, the surface. Behind the scenes, she has spent her entire life racing and originates from a family that lives and breathes automobiles. Born on March 9, 1996, Mallory spent her childhood in Jonesboro, Arkansas, a close-knit family. Her parents, Carrie Sanders, Gulley, and Kenneth Gulley. She was raised alongside her sister, Natalie. The Gulley name may already sound. Kenneth is the reason why I feel so familiar. Her father, Kenneth Gulley, created a name for long before Mallory ever stepped onto a racetrack. He's the man behind Gulley Garage, a business founded on horsepower and grit. But more than that, Kenneth is a businessman and a lifetime automotive enthusiast guy. He spent over 25 years racing, chasing speed, and developing some of the baddest machines on the track. One of his most well-known rides include a 2003 Chevy S10, is dubbed Bounty Hunter. Mallory's, she did not have a love for racing, picked at random. Since the moment she was small and she was tagging along with, her dad went to the rails, soaking up. Everything is about the culture. And since Kenneth was close with J.J. Dios, it wasn't long until Mallory became a well-known figure in the racing world, too. She later enrolled in Arkansas, and State University is following in She follows in the footsteps of her sister, Natalie. Regardless of where life took her, races remained a constant. Growing up in a home where automobiles were more only transportation, but a way of life. It was natural that she would be drawn to the roar of engines and the exhilaration of the track. Her family operates Gulley bale bindings and kegs, towing, and she remained close, tied to the family business. But she spent time with her father, witnessed street races that truly ignited her passion. They shared experiences at races, particularly those involving Street J.J. Dios, a racing icon, quickly guided her to join the action firsthand. She soaked it, all in, everything from how to create automobile to learn how to drive one that she owned, the roadway. When she eventually it was evident that she was driving herself. She wasn't there merely to watch. Mallory have the ability, dedication, and that fire will really race. People used to see her on the sidelines, passing over prize money, but those days are long, gone. Now she is the one in the spotlight, driving her favorite automobile, a vibrant purple. Chevrolet is known as the Ugly Duckling. It's also an appropriate name because, like the story, Mallory's development from bystander to powerhouse driver is turning heads. Even with vehicles as component throughout the rest of her life, she is still learning the ropes of dominating the racetrack. But she has the determination. When it comes to who lights that, she has fire in her and gives a lot of credit. To Chelsea Day, another bold woman, racer, Mallory looks up at her. Their friendship extends beyond racing. They push, help each other improve. Everything Mallory's situation changed when she landed spot on Street Outlaws Memphis. That show didn't only give her the screen time, it provided her with a platform to showcase she showed the world what she was truly capable of. And now she wasn't simply someone's daughter or someone's pal is at the track. She was a dote racer in her own right, carving out own lane and prove she's here to stay. This Street Outlaws Memphis is a spin-off from the extremely popular Street Outlaws franchise, but this time it delves deep into the raw, the gritty street racing culture of Memphis. It all began with Pilgrim Media Group, the people behind the Street Outlaws series. On the Discovery Channel approached J.J. DeBoss with the concept of do a show based on him and his Memphis crew. Initially, J.J. wasn't feeling it. When the executive producer Sam Caucus inquired what it would require to get him on board, J.J. kept things honest. I didn't want to be involved with something that felt artificial or scripted. But J.J. is J.J. He laid out his terms. He told them if they were willing to film stuff. Exactly how they went down, with no directors yelling cut and no one instructing them how race, only cameras rolling on reel. If there was some street action, he might join in. Sam agreed. And from that moment, that is exactly like it has been. What viewers see. On Street Outlaws, Memphis is not polished or staged. It is raw. It's unpredictable. It is real. Memphis does not simply bring fast automobiles to the street. They provide a completely new kind of energy. Their style is based in tradition with a lot of grit. JJ and his crew are returning for more season. This time, the competition is as challenging as ever. Racers from everywhere over Detroit, Texas, and just about every corner of the nation is arriving to put Memphis to the test. However, for JJ, it was Memphis versus the world, as the JJ is the leader of the Memphis Outlaws. Things using an old-school code. There are no flashy beginning lights, electronic impulses, a drop of his arms, and it's time to depart. He believes when you're chasing anything, it becomes a race. No over-analyzing the beginning or slow-motion replays. He claims that back in the day, street racers did not use cameras, or the technology will break down every move. They raced with what they had and settled things with their vehicles, not disagreements. Racing in Memphis is more than simply a sport. It is a family legacy. JJ got 5. Generations of racers are riding with him. His wife, Trisha, his son, Doughboy, and cousin, Precious. They are all members of the crew. They aren't just racing for pride. They race for money and status, and for something deeper that cannot be counted in dollars. But each time they've gathered because they understand what's at stake. 1. If you make the wrong move, you could lose everything. Compared to the safety of a track, the streets are filled with unknowns. JJ breaks. Write it down. Everything from dusk dew to dusty surface. Or perhaps another crew, tampering with the starting line, toss everything out. There is no safety. The crew is out there. If you mess up, could die. That is why the relationship between a racer and their car everything. JJ says you need to know. Your car feels like a part of you. Various streets will always react differently, and if you are not in sync, you do not have a chance with your machine. Chance. However, street racing is more than merely the roads are treacherous. It's also about the people. Arguments over bets can quickly turn ugly. One miscommunication can lead to a downward spiral, out of control. That is why leadership and mutual respect is everything. JJ's observed how quickly things can go south. Without someone stepping in to handle the heat. In his universe, there are millions of methods to produce money, and just as there are numerous methods to murder yourself. It takes a cool head and a devoted crew to prevent stuff from blowing up. That loyalty is the secret weapon of the Memphis Outlaws. This isn't just thrown together, they form a racing team. This is a family. Blood or not, these relationships run deep, built on years of trust and shared experiences. This relationship is what helps. They withstand the tumult of the street. They have each other's backs regardless. What? JJ's life was never a choice. He was born into it. His uncles, his grandfathers were all street racers. It is more than a passion. It's a tradition carried down from one generation to the next, and through every race, every wager, and every conflict, on the street, they continue that custom. Alive, because in Memphis, street racing is more than a way of life. It is a family. Mallory initially appeared on the scene in 2018, was only 22 years old at the time. She came in with what they called the money girl, essentially the one keeping track of the cash bets on JJ during the races. But she wasn't simply standing about. Holding money, she played a major part. Behind the scenes, too, working to coordinate races and making sure everything went smoothly. She was a solid presence from day one for the team, and it did not take long for people to see she wasn't just, they were there to look good. Mallory could really drive. She earned her position by going up against some serious competition in the streets, but not long after she became involved, things took a wild turn. Around September 2018, a lawsuit was filed involving her father, Kenneth Gulley, and JJ Dios. A woman, Jenny Larkin, with her partner Chad, filed a lawsuit against Discovery Channel claims they were assaulted while filming the show. According to Kenneth, another person, someone. They summoned Bounty Hunter and hunted Chad down and began throwing blows. He was eventually tackled to the ground. Chad stated that as he hit on the concrete, he felt a stinging ache shoot through his leg, like if something had torn. When he was down, he stated the hits they kept coming. Fists to the face, kicks to the ribs. He sincerely believed they were trying to kill him. And during all of this, the litigation was allegedly taking place. Said the camera crew didn't intervene. They simply continued recording. One producer even instructed a cameraman to get in closer for a better shot. Things became even. Jenny's attempt to intervene made things worse. The lawsuit states that a woman from the Memphis Street Outlaws team grabbed her by the back of the head and yanked, pulling her down by her hair, leaving her injured both physically and emotionally. Discovery Channel did not say much in public about any of it. But even with all of the drama in the rear, things were only getting started. Season 3 began with a fresh mix of new faces and some familiar ones, stepping back into the spotlight. One of the biggest surprises, Kenneth Gulley has climbed back behind the wheel for the first time since the terrible collision in his S10 Bounty Hunter. But the twist occurs when his daughter Mallory decides it is her moment to shine. With the Precious, has the full support of her Memphis crew, JJ the Gang. She jumps in Zippy and gets a crash course in how Memphis operates street racing. Quick, gritty, and unapologetically bold. The stakes are, true, sky high. There's huge money on the line, wild bets flying, and every single one race feels like it could change. Everything. JJ, DeBoss, and family are sticking with what they know: raw street skills, homegrown hustle, and fearlessness to grit. They are going up, against everything from huge tire hotshots out Ohio to unexpected backroads in West Virginia. Then there is Detroit, bringing the loudness and attitude. But the Memphis Outlaws are locked in, pursuing that win Memphis style. By the AS, the fourth season begins, the heat turned all the way up. The Memphis crew is competing with some of the greatest, street racing throughout the country. And it's not only about pride. This is about survival, legacy, and a whole lot of money. JJ and his gang are going all in, bet big, and race even harder. Every race has the potential to be breaks or crowns them. But win or losing, they're riding with heart, risking everything for the top rank. Mallory is now racing under the pseudonym. Molly isn't just following along anymore, she's putting everything on the line. She refers to her brand new automobile as Ugly Duckling, her first actual street race against a formidable Kentucky team. She only finished one-arm drop race, but that does not prevent her from jumping, head first into the flames, prepared to represent Memphis and create her people proud. She has strong mentors. Corner. JJ Dios is not simply a legend on the streets. He has taken up the post of leading a new generation of racers, especially the women who are willing to prove they have what it takes. And Mallory's father, Kenneth, might not be. Although he is no longer racing full-time, knowledge and history behind the wheel still make him a force in her corner. This season also features a new face, stepping up from inside the family. Chelsea, Doughboy's wife, has grown tired of observing from the sidelines. She's suiting up, getting behind the wheel, demonstrating that this rushing existence runs. It's also ingrained in her blood, and it is not. It is no longer only about Memphis. New racers like Travis Harvey, best known on the streets as Carolina Kid, are hungry to prove something. He brings a full A team from Virginia, is attempting to make noise and shake things up. Familiar names are also reappearing. Ronnie Pace with his Texas teammates, Chris Block representing North Carolina, and Quinn from Kentucky, still pursuing that long-running rivalry with JJ. From fresh challengers for seasoned veterans, each race is, every gamble and bet involves risk. But one thing remains constant. JJ DeBoss, the Memphis Street Outlaws, are Allen. They're chasing money, and live the life and doing it their way, no how. The Memphis way. But what came next will leave fans astonished. There are more questions than answers. When Mallory Gulley did not show up for Season 5 of Street Outlaws, Memphis attracted a lot of people off guard. She had been among the standout personalities on the show, known for her confidence behind the wheel and her presence among the MSO staff. So, for her to simply disappear without any explanation, which left fans bewildered, asking inquiries. And they have been. I have been asking ever since. Scroll through her. On Instagram, you'll find plenty of comments from enthusiasts wondering when and if she's coming back. Someone even left a lovely note under a holiday photo asking if she would return and explain they had missed. I saw her drive the Ugly Duck, but Mallory never responds. There is no denial, nothing except silence was confirmed. Even the network has remained quiet. There are no statements, there are no updates, nothing. And Mallory, she hasn't revealed anything about it on social media either. That, silence only, increased the sense of mystery. We know that around the period she exited the show, Mallory appeared to be focusing more on her personal life. Her social media showed her spending time, my family, and enjoying a calm lifestyle. In 2020, she was in. I'm in a relationship with someone named Zach King. They posted photographs from games. Outings looks cheerful. But lately, all except for a couple, all of those photos disappeared. Zach's Instagram does not include any group photographs. Show her at all, so that chapter can have ended. While the cameras stopped, Mallory continued to roll on her racing.busy. She collaborated with a designer called Hope Gabriella from Glamorization to redesign her home, naming it her bachelorette pad. Hope was even shared. Photographs of the new living room on Facebook is showing off a comfortable, personalized space that Mallory, I totally loved it. Outside of domestic life, she remained vocal in other areas. Mallory has made no secret about her political views, even after 2020. Election. She continued to demonstrate support for Donald Trump-attended rallies, includes one from June 2022. If she isn't at the beach orally, she's working for the family. Gulley Bail Bonds, along with her father and sister. At Gulley Bail Bonds, she works as a bail bond agent and helps people are released from prison covering their bail when they can't afford it. There is even a YouTube dude. The channel for the company is loaded with low-budget bounty hunter vids. I feel like a copycat version of Cops. It's a little tough to watch. It appears to reflect the same energy she has, once added to an Instagram video labeled God, Weapons, and Trump close to a Trump statue. A brief scroll through her Facebook profile, she paints a similar picture. She has taken pictures with Donald Trump Jr., expressed support for problematic ideas, such as thinking Brittany Griner deserved to be in Russian prison, and shared a few conspiracy-oriented stuff. These days, Mallory is mostly focused on her family companies. Aside from Gulley Bail Bonds, there's Keg Towing, kegmotorsports.com. She is also still earnings from her time on Street Outlaws. She has won a number of times from racing events throughout the years. Will she return to the show? It remains unknown.